You know the cycle. The excitement of starting a new project, the motivation to change your life, the energy of a new year. You go all in for a few days, maybe a week, and then the pace slows down. Inertia returns. The routine falls apart. Most men don't fail from a lack of effort, but from a lack of consistency. They're like straw fires. They burn bright for an instant and then go out, return to the same place they started from. Miyamoto Musashi, the warrior who remained undefeated in over 60 duels, wasn't a genius who performed miracles. He was a master of consistency. His strength didn't come from moments of explosion, but from a relentless daily practice, from a discipline he applied to every movement, every breath. For him, victory was an event, but a habit. His life was proof that the man who stays on the path, day after day, will inevitably surpass the man who only runs when he feels motivated. What you are about to discover isn't about how to get more motivation, but about how to free yourself from the need for it. It's a guide to transform consistency from a struggle into a natural part of who you are. We're going to dive into 10 lessons from a warrior who turned repetition into power. The first lesson is the most brutal, but the most important. The art of taking the first step every single day. Before any legendary duel or famous victory, there was just a moment, a single, decisive moment where a choice was made. To begin, Musashi knew that the greatest barrier isn't exhaustion, but the paralyzing inertia of not now. The warrior who can't take the first step toward his opponent has already lost. The discipline of consistency isn't about finishing. It's about the relentless act of beginning again and again, no matter how small. Your mind is constantly negotiating with you, convincing you to wait for the perfect moment or the right feeling. But this is a trap. The samurai's mind doesn't think about the entire duel. It focuses only on the first strike. By training your mind to act instantly, you sever the connection between thought and hesitation. This is the first and most important victory of the day. To defeat procrastination and build consistency, you must focus only on the first tiny step. Don't worry about finishing the entire task. Just commit to the very beginning. For example, instead of thinking about working out for an hour, just put on your gym clothes. The consistency is the discipline of making that first choice, no matter how small. This is a foundational principle, but it means nothing without a daily, grinding effort. The next lesson shows you how to maintain that effort. A samurai's blade was not sharpened all at once in a single monumental effort. It was honed a little every single day through small, deliberate strokes. This is the essence of Musashi's approach to consistency. Most men try to make one gigantic effort and then relax, their blade becoming dull and rusty from neglect. Musashi knew that the strength of a continuous practice will always surpass the strength of an intermittent one. His life was a testament to this principle. He didn't train for 10 hours in one day and then take a week off. He trained every day, in every moment. His mind was always active, and his spirit was always ready. His strength wasn't the strength of a single event, but the strength of a continuous, unending practice. He understood that repetition, not intensity, builds habit. To be consistent, you must stop seeking monumental effort and start seeking daily effort. It is far better to do 15 minutes of exercise every single day than to do 2 hours on a single day and then stop. The consistency of these small acts is what builds an unshakable habit. It's the daily blade that becomes sharper and sharper until it becomes a part of you. But what do you do when you don't feel like showing up? The next lesson holds the key. Stop waiting for feeling. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions come and go. The man who relies on motivation is a warrior without honor, fighting only when the adrenaline is pumping. Musashi did not depend on a fleeting feeling to fight. He depended on his discipline and his unwavering routine. He knew that his training was his true source of strength, and he trusted in that training. Consistency is a principle you live, regardless of how you feel. It is a decision that you will do what needs to be done, no matter your mental state. When your mind tells you that you don't feel like it, you are not living by principle. You are living by fleeting emotion. Musashi simply fought. He didn't ask if he wanted to kill the need for motivation and embrace consistency. Create a ritual for yourself. Make your routine a a non-negotiable part of your day. Do it at the same time, in the same way, every day. When your mind tells you that you don't feel like it, you just do it. By doing this, you are teaching your mind that you are in command, freeing yourself from the prison of emotions. But how do you make this routine sustainable? That's what the next lesson is for. Consistency is often a battle against feeling overwhelmed. The feeling that the goal is too big, the work is too big, the journey is too long. Musashi knew that victory didn't come from a single powerful strike, but from a series of small, precise movements. Consistency is the art of winning the day through minimal, manageable actions that compound over time. Most men fail to be consistent because their goals are too grand. They want to lose 40 pounds in a few months or build a business in a year. They feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of the task and give up. Consistency, however, is the discipline of focusing on what is minimal and manageable. It's the act of taking a single step, of making a single effort, of reading a single page. To be consistent, you must reduce your objectives to the bare minimum. Don't think about losing 40 pounds. Think about taking a 10-minute walk. Don't think about writing a book. Think about writing a single sentence. Consistency is the victory of small, daily actions over the overwhelming nature of the big goal. It's the act of winning the day, every day, with what is possible. But to make even small actions happen, you must first eliminate your greatest enemy. The warrior who is not fully present in battle will be defeated. This is the first lesson of a samurai. Distraction is a silent enemy that steals your attention and destroys your consistency. It convinces you that you are working, but in reality, you're just jumping from one task to another, never going deep into anything. Musashi did not allow himself to be distracted. For him, a wandering mind was an invitation for the enemy. Consistency demands focus. It is the discipline of keeping your mind on what you are doing now, of resisting the temptation to check your phone or to look at what others are doing. Your focus is your greatest weapon against the silent enemy of distraction. When your mind is undivided, your actions are powerful. To be consistent, you must actively fight distraction. Turn off your notifications. Close unnecessary tabs on your computer. Create a work environment that allows you to concentrate. The man who can do this becomes an unstoppable force because his mind is fully engaged in the task at hand. However, even the most disciplined warrior must rest. The next lesson shows you why. True consistency isn't just about effort. It is about strategic rest. The warrior who doesn't recover from a battle won't be ready for the next one. The discipline of rest is as important as the discipline of effort. A man who tries to be consistent without recovering will break. He will burn out. Musashi knew that recovery was an essential part of his training. He rested, but his rest was intentional. He knew that to maintain his consistency over decades, he needed to take care of his body and his mind. Rest was a strategy, not a weakness. It was an essential part of his life's battle plan. A disciplined man sees rest not as an escape, but as a fuel for future victories. To be consistent for the long term, you must discipline yourself to rest, get enough sleep, and take scheduled breaks. Your body and mind need to recover so that you can come back with the same intensity. The man who disciplines himself to rest is the man who will win in the long run. But even with a good routine, there are days when the voice of weakness appears. How do you silence it? Consistency is not easy. There will be days when your mind tells you to give up. The voice that says just this once, or you'll do double tomorrow, is your greatest enemy. The warrior faces his internal enemy every day. He does not surrender to the voice of weakness. He ignores it and acts. Musashi was not immune to fatigue, but he refused to surrender. His strength came from his higher self, which refused to fail. Consistency is a victory of that higher self over your lower self, which seeks only comfort. When you take action despite the internal protest, you are showing your mind who is truly in command. To be consistent, you must learn to hear the voice of your lower self and then ignore it. When it tells you to stop, do the opposite. When it tells you to postpone, start immediately. Consistency is the act of showing your own mind that you are in command, proving that your will is stronger than your feelings. But consistency needs a steady rhythm to be sustainable. The next lesson is all about that. Consistency is rhythm. It's the discipline of finding a flow that you can maintain for a long time. A warrior who moves too fast gets tired quickly. One who moves too slowly loses the opportunity. The master of combat finds a rhythm that is perfect for him, a sustainable pace that allows for long-term endurance. The samurai's life was a perfect example of this. He didn't live at a frantic pace. He lived at a steady, intentional rhythm. This rhythm was challenging enough to make him grow, but sustainable enough not to break him. Most men fail because they try to live at a pace they cannot maintain, leading to burnout and inconsistency. To be consistent, find your rhythm. Experiment with different routines and different schedules until you find what works for you. Consistency isn't about fitting into a predetermined formula. It's about finding your own and what keeps you in that rhythm, even on the hardest days. The next lesson reveals the secret. Consistency is the honor of keeping the promise you make to yourself. A samurai did not break his word. His honor was his greatest asset. Consistency is the act of honoring your word, of being a man who does what he says he will do. Many men break promises to themselves all the time. They say they will start on Monday, but when Monday comes, they don't follow through. With every broken promise, they destroy their self-confidence. Consistency is the act of building that self-confidence, of proving to yourself that you are a man of your word. It is a fundamental act of self-respect. To be consistent, start honoring your word. Make small promises to yourself and keep them. Promise yourself that you will read one page and read it. Promise yourself that you will do one exercise and do it. With every promise kept, you are becoming a more honorable, a stronger man. But what about the pressure to be fast and get quick results? The final lesson dispels this myth. Consistency is not about being fast. It's about being unshakable. Most men want quick results. They're like the rabbit who runs quickly and then stops. Musashi was like the turtle who moves slowly, but with a determination that cannot be stopped. The turtle's speed is the force that wins in the long run. Consistency is the speed of the turtle. It is the discipline of moving slowly, but never stopping. The man who moves slowly but consistently will inevitably surpass the man who moves quickly but intermittently. The goal is not to sprint to the finish line, but to keep walking until you reach it. To be consistent, stop comparing yourself to others. Stop seeking speed. Focus on moving forward one step at a time. Your strength isn't your speed. It's your unshakable determination. You started this video feeling that consistency was a struggle, a battle you were destined to lose. But now, you understand that consistency is not a gift. It is a skill. You have learned to free yourself from motivation, to honor your word, and to move with the unshakable determination of a warrior. Musashi showed us that victory is not a matter of luck or talent, but of a relentless daily practice. He gave us the tools to transform our weakness into a strength that cannot be broken. Consistency is your greatest weapon for living a life of purpose. Now it's your turn. Apply these lessons. Start today by moving with the speed of the turtle, one step at a time. Your life will not be defined by your highs, but by your ability to move forward, even in your lows. You are no longer a straw fire. You are a constant flame that cannot be extinguished.